Hello. Well, we're here and you're tapping in with Sabrina Marie, and I'm excited to be here with you guys today. I'm excited because we're on a new lesson. Yes, we came out of our last month lesson, and I mean, it was on fire. We did straight talk with the lesson at the end of the month. I got so much good feedback from it, so I can't wait to get to that at the end of this month. But today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about financial self love. Yes, financial self love. And I know you're wondering, like, how could those two be in the same sentence? But we're going to break it down today when we're going into our finances and why we make certain decisions and certain choices when it comes to money. Well, I got my notes today, I got my hot tea, and I'm excited to be here with you because nothing is going to stop this train. Well, we're going to talk about why does it matter when it comes to self-love and money. Well, a lot of times when it comes to money, we make decisions based on our feelings, right. I mean, how many times we have eaten something and you know that you wasn't even hungry, but you know you had a bad day or something happened, and you know you just wanted to eat some ice cream. You had a breakup, you know, somebody hurt your feelings, or you got angry, or you got mad about something, and you just wanted to just eat some ice cream, right. Well, when it comes to money, we do the same thing. We do compulsive buying, impulsive buying, you know, because it's the dopamine that's inside of us. It gives us a rush. It gives us a happy feeling for that moment, for that moment. And so what we do is we'll go online and we'll go to the stores and we'll start doing some online shopping, or we'll go outside and we'll start buying unnecessary things that's not even, we don't even need. But for that moment, it makes us feel very, very good. And then there's things that we do also is we avoid our bank accounts. Oh, how many of us do that? So how many of us don't even want to see how much is left after we get our check, or the money that we have in our account after we buy things? We don't want to see how much money is left because you know it's going to make you feel sick to your stomach, or you feel like it's not enough money, or you feel like, oh my God, what am I going to do for the rest of the week or the rest of the month? Or how am I going to pay my rent? Or how I'm going to pay my mortgage? So we avoid going to looking at our bank accounts. And we ignore debt. We know that credit card bill is due. Give me 1 second, okay? Just hold on 1 second. I'm back. Okay. So, like I was saying, um, we avoid uh, our bank accounts because we don't want to see what's going on. We don't want to see how much money we spend. We don't want to see how much is left over. Guilty, especially when we make a large purchase and we're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because I have so much other things that needs to be done as well. We feel shame about money. We feel like it's not enough. We don't want to get that financial advice. We don't want to get that help because we are ashamed. We don't want to talk about with other people what's in our account, more or less, and face it ourselves. I mean, how many of you think about it? How many of you like not checking your bank account because you're ashamed of what's in it yourself? You hide it from yourself. You don't want to see it yourself. Listen, there's times that I spend large sums of money and I just refuse to go look at my account because I don't. It feels terrible. I don't want to know how much money is left. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to put more money in there, because I'm like, oh my God, that was a lot of money that I spent. But when it comes to self-love, we got to know that we are more than um just income. It's not just income. It comes it makes we have to look at ourselves a little deeper of why we're doing things. We have to do some soul searching and figure out why are we self-sabotaging ourselves. Why are we not creating a budget for ourselves? What is it that is stopping us from being able to create budgets and create income plans for our future to be able to get there? What's actually stopping us? And some of you may say, I don't have enough money. I don't make enough money. But with the money that you make, if you plan and budget right, then you will be able to accomplish some of those things. And I'm not saying that everybody's in the same position, but you live within your means. Ooh, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear live within their means. I mean, a lot of us is not living within our means. I mean, some of us is buying Louis Vuitton bags and pocketbooks and expensive things and knowing that we can't buy it 3 times or we can't buy it 2 times. You know, that's the whole 2 months of saving, but it felt good when we purchased that. And these are emotional habits that we have. And we have to come out of our emotions when it comes to our finances. We have to come out our emotions when it comes to finances. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. Ah, I need to go buy something because I'm feeling bad. I need to go buy something because I didn't make that much money this week. So I might as well just go ahead and get me something that I desire to have. We can't always do that, especially when we're trying to reach and accomplish goals, especially when we're trying to set up things for our future. We have to show some type of discipline when it comes to our future. All righty. So, you know, a lot of the problems is that we do avoidance, it's guilt, it's fear, and identity. So we got to recognize what the problem is when it comes to discipline and self-love in our finances. And there's things that we, like I already talked about, things that we self-sabotage ourselves with. I mean, you could be saving for, let's say you want to purchase a home and you have $5,000 worth of credit card debt that you have to pay off. But you don't have that much money coming in after you pay your regular bills right now. So it seems like you won't be able to save this money for the next 6 to 12 months, or maybe 12 to 24 months. But we get off course because it seems so big, so wide, so far away that we pull away from the goals that we're trying to accomplish and start doing other things. We start doing other things. We start taking that $50, that $100, that $250, that $500, and start buying clothes and shoes and different things of that nature. I'm going to testify for a second, and I really don't like to tell my business, but back in the day, I went through some financial issues, and I had to go through a bankruptcy, and this was far back, maybe 20 plus years back. And it was I was devastated. I was devastated because how could I go through something like that when I'm sitting here trying to teach on finances? But we had the big bubble that bust in the real estate market. And I was emotional about trying to get rid of my stuff, where I should have came out of my emotions. You hear that? I should have came out my emotions when it was time to make financial decisions. But no, I wanted to keep all my rental properties. I wanted to keep all of my luxury cars. I wanted to keep every single thing that I felt like I had accomplished. But the market was saying something totally different. The market was saying, hey, get rid of these properties now so you can save your own personal stuff. Hey, turning these leases now. You don't need them. You have a vehicle already. But no, I was emotional about keeping my stuff. I worked so hard. I deserve all the stuff. I can get through it. And so when the tenants didn't have the money to pay their rent, I had to come out my own money, my own savings to make sure these mortgages was taken care of. But I was still being emotional about it because I want to look out for other people at the same time. Where it put me in a financial bind where I end up losing every single thing. Everything. It was devastating. I cried. I couldn't believe it. I went through something. I really went through it about it. But then once I went through my bankruptcy and they were taking the income out, it just did not make sense financially to stay in it. So we end up coming out of it. And then I started to take I said, okay, let me put a plan together. This is what it is. It is what it is. My credit is destroyed. So let me start rebuilding. And it took me 3 years flat, 3 years flat to start paying off over $1.5 million worth of debt. I got on the phone. I started making deals. I put aside how much I could spend on a monthly on extra bills besides the bills that I had. I didn't go shopping. I didn't go out to eat. I wasn't doing anything. And it takes a lot of discipline to be able to do something like that. It takes a lot of discipline. I could have just threw in the towel and said, hey, forget it. I'll just live in this rental property because I lost my home. I lost my home. So I had a rental property and it was comfortable. It was reasonable. I could have said, you know what? I'm going to stop right here and just live here and just pay my rent. But no, no, I wanted more. I wanted my home back. I wanted some new things. So I made sure I stayed disciplined the whole 3 years. Was it easy? Heck no. I watched my friends go out. I watched them go on vacation. I watched them drive. I watched them live their life. And I just kept quiet and just kept paying off the bills, making phone calls, making deals. And after the 3 years flat, I was able to get approved for a new home. And I jumped on it quick. I'm not going to lie. I jumped on it real quick. So, yeah, it takes a lot of discipline and for you to come out your emotions because emotions can have you making really bad decisions when it comes to finances. It could. It cost me. It definitely cost me. So I know. I know. I know. Well, some of you say I'm really bad with money. Yeah. And I'll never catch up. And I'm behind in life. And those could be valid feelings that you feel. But I'm here to tell you it's never too late. It's never too late to start over again. You know how we start our diet every Monday? Well, I have this thing that I say you don't have to wait till Monday. You can start right now. And the first thing you want to do is look at where you at financially. That means that you want to look at your credit. You want to check and see where you're at, what your debt is. You want to go ahead and check with your finances, see how much you're paying out, and be realistic. You don't have to be ashamed. There's no large amount or small amount that you have to worry about. You don't have to be ashamed. You're doing this for yourself. You're putting yourself in a better position. Let me take a little bit of sip because that throat. Listen, we're gonna work this out tonight. We're gonna work this out tonight. So you want to make sure you have some boundaries when it comes to your money, with your finances. You don't want to just throw it out there. Don't treat it with respect. Just having it all over the place. Every dollar counts. and you have to have a place for it. You have to have a place for it and start to make some provisions for your money. Put it in places that you can get an increase. You want to invest your money. You want to invest your money in the right places. Put it in the account that's going to give you the most return on it. And those are things that we'll get into later when we start talking about the boot camp and going into more detail about it. So what you want to do is make sure you shift your money habits. We want to shift our money habits. We definitely want to sit down and think about how we just throw it away. We have to shift. And you want those things that you always talked about, not every year, a new resolution, and you never reach the goal. No, we're here to talk about how you're going to reach goals. How you're going to reach goals. We're going to write them out. We're going to sit there and see what it takes to accomplish these goals. And we're going to tackle them one by one. We're coming out. We're coming out. We're coming out. We're going to another level. There's no pressure. There's no pressure. But there's direction that you would get to be able to help you. And as we go into our 3-day boot camp next month, and I want you guys to pay attention to when you get the exact date, make sure you sign up because we're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to talk about how to do these things. We're going to give you details in how to do these things. So make sure you stay tuned, okay? And we'll get more into self-love with our finances and more about us because we have to take a reflection and look at ourselves. I want to thank you for tuning in tonight, and I'll see you next week at 6 p.m. And remember, never let them see you sweat. Financial self-love.